Today we're going to talk a little bit about math mountains. We're going to talk about subtracting numbers from a big guy total of 100. Now we've been doing math mountains for a long time and we know the big guy total is the biggest number in an equation. It's what the combined parts, combined means when you put two things together, it's the new bigger number that will be made after you put two parts together. So we're going to use 100 as our big guy total, okay? And actually we're going to subtract with that 100. So if we had 100, new marker, and we are going to subtract a part that's just smaller than 100, right? Because really we're breaking 100 when we subtract into two smaller pieces. The two smaller pieces are going to be any numbers less than 100. And since I'm just picking one of the parts, I can just randomly pick any number smaller than 100. I'm going to pick 41, okay? Now I can't just pick what the other part will be, because since I picked this one, the other part has to be the exact part that when you put these two together will equal 100, okay? So I've got 100 take away 41 equals what? Okay? So a way for us to show our thinking with this is to use these math boards. I'm going to bring this closer so you can get a good look at it. Okay? So we've got a square right here. Whenever we have a square shape, we know that represents 100, and we can prove that by checking how many tens there are in that square. 1 10, 2, that makes 20. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Okay, so we know that this is 100. These are the exact same size, so if this one is 100, then we know that this one is 100, right? We're going to use these 200 squares to help us show a picture of what we're doing when we have 100 as our total and we're subtracting 41. Okay, so I know I'm starting with 100 as my big guy total, so I'm going to mark that 100. Just like when we counted, I'm going to see if I can hold this right here so you can see it. 10, 20, I better do this down here, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Okay, so we've got 100 marked just like this, okay? Well, that's our total. So the picture shows our total. Now we're going to take away 41, okay? To show what we're taking away, I'm going to use another colored marker, and I'm going to circle the ones that I'm taking out or away from my total. And we said we're taking out 41, so I'm going to circle 4 tens, 10, 20, 30, 40, and a 1. Okay. When I circle it like this, you can see that I can easily just take out the 4 tens. When I take out the 1, I'm having to break the 1 out of a full 10, right? So this now I could count and see how much is left by counting the blue lines and the blue dots that are not included in the red circles. So we could count by 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Now if I go back to this 10, I know that 1 has been taken out, so I know there are only 9 left, so 59. So I know that 100 take away 41 equals 59, okay? Now, that's a very easy way to do that when you have this to work with, because you can see that you can show your 100 really quickly and easily. You know, if we didn't have this number board, we could show this by drawing. So we could say 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Take away 41. I'm going to go back to blue to circle the ones I'm taking away. 10, 20, 30, 40. Taking these out. And I want one of these other 10. So I'm going to cross off that 10 and put them down here in ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm only going to take one of them. So who do we have left? And if colors help you, we can turn these dots red because we know that they were the other ones inside of this stick. Only one of them are we going to take, okay? Like that. So who's left? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 5 whole tens, and 9 ones. 50, 5 tens plus 9 ones is 59, okay? So even if you don't have a math board like this at home, you can pretty much match this example with drawings. It's a little trickier because you have to break your 10 this way, and when you break them, you need to break them apart as a whole 10 by showing 10 ones, and then taking out however many is in your first part, that your known part, okay? Now let's just move through this a little bit deeper and look at what would happen if we wanted to match an equation to what we did in our picture, okay? If we were going to do that, our equation could look like this. It's called the expanded way to look at it. And we know all about the word expanded. Expanded means we take our numbers and we stretch them and pull them apart by tens and ones. And that can make it easier for us to show this, okay? So we could show that our first problem was 100 take away 41, right? That's what it was. Now we can think about how we can make 100. We can make 100 by breaking it into different groups of tens, okay? So we can take it and break it into 4 tens and 5 tens, right? Because we know there's 4 tens in this part, so we know the other part's going to have 5 tens. So we could have 4 tens plus, oh, I'm sorry, that's not correct. 4 tens plus 6 tens, because we know 4 plus 6 is 10, so 40 plus 60 is 100, right? Now let's take our known part right here, 41, okay? And let's subtract that amount, or let's break that into tens and hundreds. 41 is made out of 40 plus 1. Okay, let's subtract it this way. 60 take away 1 is 59. 40 take away 40 makes this 0. Leaves nothing. So our total left would be 59, which matches what we had up there. This is a version of expanded form. What we're doing right here matches what we did in the picture. If we changed the way we made our 100, we could make it look exactly like, well, we did. We matched it. 10, 20, 30, 40. And we had 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 tens over there. We didn't have to do any regrouping in our picture because we took our, actually we would have, because we're taking 1 away. We could do this in our head. 60 take away 1 we know is 59. We don't have to do any figuring that out. But we could also break this into 5 tens plus 9 ones. I'm sorry. 5 tens plus 10 ones. 10 take away 1 is 9. 50 take away nothing is 5. Okay? I know that's a little tricky. That's a lot of steps. And it probably seems a lot easier to work on the picture form. And it is. And if that picture form works for you and is easy, you can totally do your math that way. It is important to be able to put at least some kind of traditional math process or algorithm with your picture. Okay? Expanded form might be really easy for your brain to understand, and if it is, then you can always use a picture in expanded form. On the next video, I'm going to show you 2 more strategies, 2 more algorithms to match to your picture, and whichever one's easiest for your brain is the one you should use to show your understanding of deep math concepts to do the subtraction, especially when we're taking apart a 10. That's called ungrouping or regrouping. You can call it either way. And when we ungroup a 10, we're taking it from a whole stick and pulling it into the 10 ones.